Yeah, they know what's up. All right, everybody, strong and uninformed opinions. It's been a minute. Jeff Galino.
Chris Bailey.
I forgot your name.
It's early.
Yeah, no, it is early. Been a minute, but I actually had quite a few people literally bothering me about when we were going to do another one.
Oh,
so
cool.
I was all like, I guess we should probably do it. So as many of you people absolutely hate me and my opinions, because I get that shit a lot.
People hate you?
Oh, dude, I've lost so many people on social media, followers. I don't care, though, dude. Like, I really don't, dude, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm what's the saying? I'm right with God. Like, I don't feel like I'm saying anything all that crazy, and if it bothers you that much, fine, leave. Because if you can't handle me on social media, you fucking are not going to be able to handle me in real life.
I'll say stuff that I think is pretty mediocre, like not controversial, and I'll just have people freak out. I'm like, what?
Freak out about what? And that's the thing, dude. Like, it's not like I'm out there just screaming like absolutely absurd or controversial shit.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, dude, I think
It doesn't take much nowadays.
It's kind of crazy, dude. Like, I don't know what's going on with people. Like, why? And not to sound like, I don't know what the right word. I was going to say boomerish, but that's not true either. But dude, people are way too fucking sensitive, dude. Like, I don't understand how you've gotten this far in life. Like, if somebody says something that you can't agree with, and I think that's part of it too, is people are literally saying now, it's not a matter of agreeing, it's about right and wrong and da-da-da-da-da. Dude, I don't think any of what's being said is all that controversial. Okay, so the healthcare stuff, did you know what happened during the shutdown? How it was over the extension of the subsidy?
I vaguely know. Yeah.
Do you get insurance through the self-employed thing?
No.
Okay. Well, see, that's one good thing though. That's your choice now. For a long time with ACA or Obamacare, as many people know it, I don't like calling it that because I don't like to be inflammatory. I call it by the real name, ACA. I've had insurance my entire life, and I've always had to get my own insurance because I've always been self-employed.
Yeah.
It was always a mess. If anything, it's only gotten kind of together in the last. So I mean, giving credit where credit is due, ACA has gotten much better in the last 5 years. Anyway, that's beside the point. But so they got rid of the subsidies, which were temporary subsidies during COVID that, just like everything, there was all kinds of fat attached to it. There was a bunch of stuff where did you hear anything about how they were talking about how it's healthcare for immigrants?
The ACA?
Well, no, the subsidies that they were trying to get rid of.
Yeah, I heard something about
okay,
that.
So that's completely misleading, and that's not really what it was. What it was is that if illegal, because you go to a hospital, dude, they don't just let you die.
They have to help you.
They have to. Well, I mean, it's also just humanity.
Yeah.
Are you just going to let somebody die on the sidewalk just because, and whatever? But if you go to the hospital, they give you health care. They do a wallet autopsy. Have you ever heard of that either? They'll go through your wallet to see if you have insurance and all that stuff.
Oh, if you're out of it or whatever.
Yeah, because I mean, well, but that's another whole thing. But so what it was in those subsidies, they were giving money to the hospitals and urgent cares and all these other major medical fucking organizations who, by the way, have been making billions and billions of dollars in profit ever since Obamacare ACA started. This is another whole conversation. Don't really want to get into it, but that whole system was it was made by the fucking insurance companies so that they could get more money and have the money not come out of our pockets, although it does, but come out of the government's pocket. So it was a way of them getting instead of your insurance being $200 a month, $300 a month because it's in the free market and you're not going to pay if it's more than that, they told the government, well, this person's insurance is $1,000 a month. But the government's all like, yeah, but you only have to pay $200. We'll pick up the rest of it. Well, the insurance companies are the winners there.
Yeah.
They're making a shit ton of fucking money, and it's a guaranteed paycheck from the fucking government. So anyway, back to the subsidies. And I have a point of why I know. Back to the subsidies, what they were doing is they were paying the hospitals and the urgent cares for all of the money they were losing out on for taking care of non-documented immigrants and stuff. I watched the whole thing about it, like in Yuma, where like it was something like 60% of the medical care that they were providing was to undocumented people, literally who had just crossed the border, wandering through the desert and shit, and then they get here and they're fucked up.
They need help.
They need help. They're dehydrated, all that shit. So they go to the hospital helps them, but then nobody ever pays that bill. So there was literally hospitals that were, they said they were about to go out of business and shit like that, which, I mean, that's a legitimate concern. But just like everything the government does, instead of like painting everything with a broad brush, then maybe just help those hospitals.
Right.
Instead of giving money to every fucking hospital, who, by the way, like I said, are making record fucking profits. So, I mean, are they really losing that much money? It doesn't seem to me like they're losing any money.
Right.
So, during the shutdown, that was going on. And you had people who were literally so mad at you that you wanted to, like, I had people like, you want immigrants to die. And so it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? First off, they're going to get help no matter what. I'm talking about the idea that those subsidies were to make hospitals and their stock prices go up and shit like that, dude. This is not about the people.
Right.
Like, yeah, I want the people to be okay. I want them, if you come across the desert, dudes, yes, get help and all that stuff. I don't want medical companies that are making billions and billions of dollars already off of the government dime to get more money. Now, like I said, it was attached with a bunch of fat and stuff. So my insurance was always, the whole time I've been on ACA, was always around $300 a month. Always. And that was since 2012. Only for the last 2 years has it been insanely cheap.
Oh,
now,
really?
I'm not going to, I mean, dude, I want to pay less.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But it was a lot less. Those subsidies took my insurance from $300 a month to $30 a month. Okay. Now, again, I'm cool with that. What I'm not cool with is the idea that you're scapegoating. It's what they always do, dude. They're making it sound like you're trying to kill people and people won't get insurance and all that stuff. And it's the same thing as like a lot of these people that are so shocked at how much insurance costs and all that stuff and our prices went up. They just got insurance. That's why they're so shocked. If you've been doing this since 2012, you're looking at your bill and going, oh, it's just what it always was.
Right.
Instead of it being $30 a month, which again, I'm totally on board for $30 a month.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
As long as it's not fucking up everything. But
so so what were I don't even know. So the holdup in shutdown
was that
about the subsidies?
The subsidies, and the other, I mean, that's another whole subject altogether. But the subsidies were designed to run out on purpose, so that way Democrats would have a bargaining chip down the road to be all like, see, they don't want you to have health insurance. And it's all the political bullshit as always. But back to the original point, I literally had people who were like claiming that I was like a murderer because I didn't want these subsidies. And I'm like, dude, you are out of your fucking mind.
That's how everything gets spun. It's like everything just has a knee-jerk reaction attached to it. You know what I mean? Like subsidies, if you're opposed or against them, whatever, it's like if you're on that side, then you hate, you're a Nazi or you hate immigrants. And it really has nothing to do with any of that.
You know what
and people don't look into it to see what it really means.
You know what's happened also, folks? Let me just tell you, and I mean, this is something that we've talked about, and I think we're there. I really do. They're not even calling people Nazis anymore.
Is that old school?
Well, I think that it's lost its meaning.
Yeah.
Like you call somebody a Nazi now and they're just all like, whatever, dude.
Oh, it's kind of jerky or something?
Well, it's like, no, you just kind of know what you're dealing with. If somebody's like a Nazi, a fascist and all that, you're like, you just shut down and you're like, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The new one is now you're a pedophile.
Okay.
Or you're a pedophile apologist because you're defending, which I don't give a shit what anyone says, dude. If Trump was in those Epstein files the way everyone wants him to be, they would have used that shit years ago.
They would have.
They absolutely would have.
Yeah.
That would have been. They would have used it to make sure he did not get elected.
And then even on the flip side of it, if there was some Democrats on there, they would have absolutely used that. I think they're both in there. So they're both like.
I think that's what it was. I think that for a while we were dealing with mutually assured destruction. We're not going to put you in there. We're not going to release it because you're fucked, and we're not going to release it because we're fucked.
There's like big bankers, like royal family.
And I think there's two different lists. And I think I've talked about this before. There's two different lists. I think there's the people who were doing things money-wise illegally, because everyone forgets that Jeffrey Epstein wasn't just like a pedophile ring brothel owner.
He was involved in Iran-Contra stuff.
When you break it all down, because I know people think he worked for Mossad and all this other stuff, or that he was an asset of the government. But when you break it all down, he was in money laundering. The rest of it is like for who, why.
Right.
But he was in money laundering. Do I think Trump is on that list? Yeah, probably. Or is at least somehow associated, things like that. Trump has never struck me as somebody who, and we might have even talked, Trump has never struck me as somebody who's like a child predator.
Yeah, you never know, but yeah.
Well, he said some weird things about his daughter, but it's also, the things that he said about his daughter strike me much more as the egomaniac that he is. A lot of the stuff he says about his daughter is much more like, look at how beautiful the daughter I made is.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It's more about him.
Yeah.
I don't think he's even talking about it. He's more like, my daughter's hot because I made her.
Right.
That's more the vibe.
That is the vibe, yeah.
And as far as like, I think Trump is more the dude who's going to fuck your mom because she's hot. Not necessarily the going out. And they keep putting up, I saw, he was judging like beauty contests and stuff like that. And they're like, see, look at how creepy this is. And then you realize it's a room full of judges. And they're just picking out Trump, who's actually doing the least creepy shit out of all these people.
Yeah, so are all the judges forever that have judged those things, are they all pedophiles?
They're not maybe I would say it's a little weird.
It is weird.
It's weird, but it's, I don't know, pedophile behavior. Plus, I mean,
someone has to judge them, right?
Someone has to judge them. And I think, again, that comes back to Trump and ego. Trump ran these things, and I think that Trump was in that fucking room to just make sure that it was only hot girls.
Yeah.
That's the Trump that I fucking see. Is more that I don't want ugly girls in my beauty contest because it's my beauty contest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do not dismiss that Trump is an egomaniac.
Yeah, he's you can see like it's just ego driven instead of like creepy perv driven. You can kind of tell that.
I get that way more. Ego driven to the point of saying weird shit that's almost creepy, but not because he's creepy.
I mean, Biden had more of a creepy perv vibe, I think, with his hair sniffing.
So. Well, dude.
But not.
I mean, everyone seems to forget that. I mean, I do find that very weird, dude. That the first thing you do when you meet somebody's child for the first time is pull them in close and snuggle them or whatever the fuck he was doing. So, like, I'm sorry, but that is actually a little weirder to me.
To me too.
Okay.
And they both might be. I don't know, but that seems more weird.
But so that's the new one is that you're a pedophile, which I don't know about you, but I also find that absolutely insane because the roles have completely reversed, which we've seen that a lot too. Weren't the Republicans the ones who were like screaming about this list?
I was going to say also, like on the left side, one of their social justice things was, for a while, you probably remember it, pedophiles are just addicts and we need to embrace them and accept that they're pedophiles and help them.
Which I don't think I don't think that caught on, so that's why you don't hear that anymore.
But that was a big thing.
No, I get it.
And I knew people that were like, don't talk shit about pedophiles. They're just, we need to embrace them and help them, which might be true on some level, but
on some fucking level.
But to me, I'm like, no.
No. But well, here's the thing: if you're a person who that's what's going on with you, and you go to somebody and you're like, "Hey, look, I'm feeling this way. I need help."
Right.
That person should be helped. If it's that you've already fucked a bunch of kids. I probably shouldn't have said that. Maybe I should put that. If you've already done problems, then no, fuck you. So yeah. I think there's a wide level of like, okay, so how much should we help you? Right. Or why should we help you? Or, I mean, I'm not.
I agree with that. If it is a problem, we don't. If they want to fix that, we should help them.
I think it's all back to that broad brush of government. Everything is just painted like, dude, the world is not black and white.
There's so many nuances in every issue.
Yeah, or like homeless, okay? Like, yeah. Dude, and I mean, I've done a lot of research on this because, I mean, unfortunately, I have to drive across the I-17 every fucking day to go to work. And, I mean, I don't know. In Arizona, we have this freeway called the I-17. And along the I-17, basically the entire way now on
it's rough.
27th Avenue, 35th Avenue. It's rough. And you see all this shit, and it's not the homelessness that you remember, or at least I remember from when I was younger. It's a bunch of crazy people who are on drugs.
Have you ever pulled into a QT off Glendale or Northern?
Yeah, absolutely.
I was like, what the? There are hookers and people like smoking.
The hooker situation is out of control. Like all along fucking the I-17 on 27th Avenue, like there's just crazy shit going on, dude. I don't even know what. I honestly don't know how they just allow it. There's just like girls walking naked down the street, basically, and there's like an elementary school right there.
Yeah, at a QT. It's like
and just public drug use and all this other stuff. Where and then I just think back to when I was a kid, where I was so fucking scared of getting caught smoking a joint. Yeah, and like fucking hiding behind garbage cans and shit. Like, these motherfuckers don't care at all.
They're smoking fentanyl too.
And right in front of people, like in the middle of the road, not even on the side of the road. There's people standing in the middle of the road smoking pills and fucking. So that's back to the point of like, those people get wrapped up into the idea of like, well, you don't care about homeless people or no. It's like, no. I care about fucking homeless. Like, if you are down on your luck.
You're like, what kind of homeless person are we talking about?
That's the levels of things. Like, yes, what type of homeless person? Like, are you a single mother who has 2 kids and fucking you just lost your job and you can't fucking find a place to stay and trouble putting food on it? Those are the people that, yes, all these systems were set up for. You need to help. Us as a society are obligated to help them, and we all should want to help them. I don't know what I'm supposed to do about somebody who, because I had this argument with somebody too, and it is true. A lot of the faith-based, like fucking charities and stuff like that, they have room, they have resources, but there's rules. Like there's curfews, and like you're not allowed to be on drugs, and It's not a fucking free-for-all.
Well, I was homeless for like 2 months when I was 18, hitchhiking.
Well, but that's so long ago too. I mean,
it was, but even then, it was like a lot of those people choose that life, and if you want to go to the shelter, it's there. But no one would go there is because it's like, we're going to search you when you come in the shelter. You can't leave and come back.
Right.
We're going to feed you. And people are like, no, I want to go fuck around in the streets.
Well, yeah.
And that's how we went. That was like the last place you wanted to go because there was rules.
At 18, though.
No, I'm talking about all the people that we.
No, I know, but when you were 18, though, I would argue that was much more of like squatter punk style type shit.
For us, but there was real homeless people.
Right, but if they wanted help, it was there.
That's what I'm saying. It was there, but there was rules.
Right.
That they didn't want to follow.
I think that what everybody's forgetting is that the government help is the ones that doesn't really have rules, and they're just throwing money down a fucking hole.
And I've known lots of people that take advantage of that. They're like, I have to jump through these hoops to get my rent paid for, so I could stay home and drink all day. I know a lot of people like that.
So do I. I mean, dude,
and it wasn't like, there are people that are like generally like, I'm trying to work, I got kids, like I can't make it.
Those are the people that like literally all that money should be going to, dude.
Yeah.
Those are the people that shouldn't have to go through bureaucracy either to get the help. Like, because those stop measures are there for the people trying to abuse the system, which makes it harder for the people who are actually entitled and need the help, makes it harder for them to fucking get that shit.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Okay, so like, if you really care about like homeless people, you should also be wanting to have a separation of like, well, what type of homeless? You know what I mean? Because if you had that separation, the people that we all care about, and I'm not saying I don't care about the fentanyl zombies either, but like, let's be real.
Yeah.
They need help too, but it's a different type of help, and they're not really looking for it.
They don't want it.
Most of them. You know what
most
I mean?
of them don't want it.
Because they'll tell you that they want it.
But they want free stuff, but they don't want to change their lifestyle.
Well, I think a lot of them do. I think some of them do. But just like, because I mean, again, we're tattooers, and we see all of it. Like, I see the bottom of the barrel, and then I see people who are rich as fuck. I mean, because our clientele is extremely diverse.
It is.
I mean, you got to admit, like, it's not like somebody who works at a luxury jewelry store saying that we see all types of people. You don't see all types of people like we do, okay?
I see people from the tweaker trailer park.
I tattoo
and then I got guys coming in here and
CEOs or doctors.
$100,000 trucks.
Yes. I even not too long ago was tattooing a guy who, it's kind of funny because he came off as like a biker, everyday man. Dude, he walks outside, he's driving a fucking McLaren. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, and you're wearing like fucking flannels, and like you try to play off. That annoys me too, but here nor there. But like, we see all types of people. I mean, dude, I've tattooed hookers. I've tattooed fucking drug addicts. I've tattooed doctors. And you talk to all of them. I mean, you're in there for fucking hours with some of these people. Like, there definitely are tattooers who don't talk to their customers at all, and I fucking hate them. But like, part of the experience is bullshitting with people.
That's the best part.
It literally is the best part. Yeah. And dude, you learn all these things about people and stuff. And I mean, I've had the drug addicts and the hookers and all that stuff tell me that they don't want, like, they're doing this on purpose to a certain extent. And the problem is that when you're playing with fire, you're trying to juggle fire, it might burn you. That's what's going on with a lot of them is like, they're living a lifestyle that could get real fucked up real quick. And it sometimes does, and that's generally when you hear somebody say, I need help.
Yeah.
Is after and I mean, that's a lot.
A lot of them are having fun. Like, drugs are fun, they're fucking.
I don't know, man. A lot of those people do not look
yeah, but I mean, in their head they are.
I think that's the other thing everyone needs to remember is that on some of those people, they're not having fun anymore, or they might even think they're having fun.
It gets to that point.
But they've done enough shit that they're not even thinking.
And some of them have to do it just to stay at a normal
let's
level.
be honest. Some of them look like if they stop, they're going to die.
They probably will.
Yeah. So, like, they have to, again, subtle levels. Do I want people to get health care 100%? Like, do I want people to get the help they need if they're homeless and all that shit? 100%. But there's all this subtle other stuff in there that makes it impossible to talk to people, which is what this all was about. Impossible to talk to people when they are, and dude, I don't know about you, but it's actually becoming quite annoying. I put up with it for a long time, but these people that are always mad about all this stuff, dude, and this is not, I'm not trying to pigeonhole people. Dude, it's like fucking rich white people all the fucking time. It's like, what the fuck do you know, dude? Like, I hate to say it. And, like, I'm not diminishing your opinion or anything. You're allowed to have your opinion. But, like, dude, please stop telling me about drug use and all that. Dude, where were you in the trenches? You know what I mean? Like, when you're fucking living your normal-ass fucking Brady Bunch lifestyle. Like, dude, shut up.
That's true, yeah.
That's like, dude, annoying. Fuck you and your fucking 4,000 square foot home. Like, what do you know about anything, dude? And, like, you could say the same about what do I know? Dude, I've actually experienced quite a bit in my 47 years. I've had guns pulled on me, I've been shot at. I know plenty of people on drugs. You got to be kidding me. I'm a tattoo artist. That's what I mean. Like, we've seen the best, and this is the thing, dude. My takeaway from all of that, having met all these different people, is just everyone is the same. Everybody is the same. Everybody's got basically the same goals, and all of these, even the drug addicts.
Yeah, they want to, live a good life, and
they want to be happy,
have a family, or just just live comfortably somewhat.
Right. Everybody just wants the same shit. They want to be left alone to a certain extent. And then here comes the fucking rich white lady with all of her fucking views and opinions and telling everybody what to fucking do. And it's like, dude, I don't think you understand what freedom is, and you're the one calling me the fascist.
Right.
Like, you should be allowed to, if you want to go and do drugs all day on the street, I can't stop you. I can warn you. I can tell you maybe why you shouldn't do it. And
then we could say, like, we don't want to really pay for your apartment if you're going to choose that lifestyle,
And here's the other thing. I don't want to pay for your apartment if you're going to choose that lifestyle when the rest of us who are just trying to get through the fucking day are also having problems. And it's because there isn't always enough money to go around. And
yeah, it's not limitless. You can't it would be nice if you can just help give everyone free houses and free food and health care. But where does that? It has to come.
We've been doing podcasts for a while, originally with my cousin and stuff. Do you remember me and him arguing about, like, the national debt and all of those things? Years ago. We're living in what I was warning about. I hate to say it. Inflation. I remember very distinctly having a debate with my cousin about inflation in, say, 2019 or whenever we started doing that shit. It was called Misunderstandings and Meatballs. I don't even know where you can watch it anymore. But it wasn't on YouTube. It was a podcast. But he used to tell me that debt wasn't real. And I understand where he's coming from. Because if you really want to break it down, money isn't real. It's just an agreed upon, this paper's worth something, and we're moving into an age when it's not even paper.
And it doesn't even represent, like, the amount of gold anymore.
No.
Right?
The gold standards, it's out. And an interesting thing, I was talking to another friend of mine, because believe it or not, I'm actually very much into, like, stocks and day trading, the economy. I pay attention to the Fed minutes.
I can't wrap my head around any of that stuff.
Well, if I've talked to it.
That's me, though. I know you.
No, but here's the thing, dude. That it's all designed like that. Yeah. It's the same thing as almost everything else. Where, like, I'll use a simple example. A mechanic's going to throw a bunch of technical terms to you, so that way you are like, I don't know what you're talking about, and then they can get your money.
Right. Okay.
But in reality, if somebody just explained it to you in layman's terms, you'd be like, oh yeah, the thing that pumps the water into the, to cool the engine,
right,
or whatever. It's doctors too, like, they'll throw the technical terms in there when all they need to say is like, yeah, your heart's got water all around it, and that's why it's not working well.
Right.
Okay, which I think the technical term for that is edema, maybe.
Something like that.
Yeah, so, okay. But they do the same thing with financial stuff. It's all these technical ass terms.
But it's not that really
It's really not all that fucking crazy and all that difficult. I have another good friend who, he's completely, and he is not wrong, and he's actually right a lot of times, because he does like day trading stuff. He's right a lot. In fact, I told him he should probably be a fund manager. He's completely convinced that he's never said this, but like 90% of all stocks and stuff are all just about like following the corruption in the money. Because I think he's right in some ways, but there are factors too where it's not just always about corruption. In my mind, sometimes it is about, like, did they have a good month or a good quarter? You know what I mean?
Like what corruption?
Well, okay, so a good one that me and him have been talking about is there's been a lot of debate, which is why you saw a lot of the stock market going crazy recently, because they weren't sure if Powell, the Fed chairman, was going to lower rates again in December, which I have a whole fucking... Maybe I'll do a separate video on this just myself about the Fed and Powell, because it's not conspiracy based. It's that Powell is a fucking moron. That guy is behind on everything. Whatever. I'll talk about that. So there was a lot of debate on whether he was going to lower interest rates. When they lower interest rates, that means that money becomes cheaper, and it puts what's called liquidity into the economy. Not the everyday person. The only way that really affects us is credit cards, buying a car, buying a house, and those aren't completely pegged to the interest rate, but it does make it so that you can get like a loan for cheaper. I think like 30-year mortgage rates are actually tied to like treasuries and stuff, possibly. Don't quote me. I don't know all that stuff. But so they were worried that he wasn't going to lower rates, because in my mind, he should have been lowering rates since the beginning of the year.
They're pretty high. They were for a while. They still are, I think.
Well, but that's the thing. Historically, they're not. Historically, they're actually still...
I think you showed me something like that, where they're
still pretty low.
They just have been low previously.
They were at zero for a little bit, and that's what everyone's it's kind of like health insurance is so expensive, and that's back to just where it was. So I get it seems like it's so expensive, but I always paid $300 a month. My new policy, $300 a month. If anything, I'm actually getting better coverage this year for $300 a month. So in some ways, it's a net win for me, having been on it since 2012 or whatever. Obviously, as I said, I'd rather pay $30 a month for it, but
for sure,
if it means, us not literally ruining... I don't even have fucking kids. That's a part of this that drives me nuts too. If you want your kids to be completely fucked, let's keep spending money. That's what everyone should understand. You're fucking your kids' fucking futures up big time. I'll leave it at that. I don't even have kids. Don't care.
If we support the government, like keeping on like spending money.
You constantly hear that we're the richest country in the world and da-da-da-da-da. And yes, that's true. We are the richest country in the world. That is completely flushing it down the toilet and in debt. If we were a person, we would be bankrupt. Okay? Yeah. So you just, in layman's terms, now there's a lot of factors that make it so that our government is not bankrupt. And the reason, they've been doing it for a long time, because I'm sick of hearing that. It's both sides. No shit. Okay? It's just that you chose a side to say that they're right. I have not. I think they're both fucked up, and I hate them both. I think they're all just self-serving politicians.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay? But that is not what you get from, I hate to say it, people on the left. I think that the Republicans are at least, you have the cult of personality, the people who just love Donald Trump. But I think that on the Republican side, there's a healthy mistrust of government in general already.
That's kind of built into that.
Right. Less government. All of that shit.
I kind of lean more libertarian because of that, which is, I don't know where that goes on the left-right scale, really. And I'm not crazy political either, but
you got opinions, though?
Yeah.
Strong and uninformed opinions.
Mostly uninformed.
Follow.
I gotta go. I gotta take a piss.
Okay. So we're going to be talking about some conspiracy stuff here, so don't leave. It's not all politics. I'm honestly getting sick and tired of it. We got some interesting stuff we want to talk about, and I want your guys' opinions too. I know Chris is super into some of this stuff, and I think you'll like it, so stay tuned. So, all right, what were we even talking about? The economy? Well, let's just run through some quick things before we get to the fun stuff, because we actually have some fun stuff to talk about, not just all this crap. Oh, well, there's one other. What do you think about this ballroom shit?
Trump's building the ballroom and taking. I mean, that's like, to me, it's like
file it under. Who cares?
Yeah, it's like, okay. I mean, maybe they need a ballroom.
I mean, okay. I do think it's mildly embarrassing.
And he's probably ego driven. Like, I want to fucking do this and put my name on it.
But here's the thing: Trump hasn't even made he said, "I want to be known as the best president that's ever been."
Yeah,
and so I think I've even talked about that. I think Trump's motivation is not money. Dude, he's got plenty.
It's all ego.
It's all just that he wants
his legacy,
before he dies, he wants somebody to be like, you know what, you were the best president ever, and he'd be like, I told you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what that dude wants. So I, for one, wildly appreciate that we're not paying for it. I think that's cool.
Because he's paying for it.
That's
donations.
We're going to get into that too.
Okay.
He's got donors. I do think that.
Yeah, if we're not paying for it,
I'm totally fine with it. But he's got donors, and the donors, if you look at who the donors are, there's some political shiftiness going on there. But again, is that surprising to anyone? So you're going to get companies, I think like Meta, and companies that want some political favor are the ones who are donating this money. Okay.
Yeah, that's how politics work.
I'm not shocked by any of that.
Politicians, politics.
And here's the thing, dude. If Meta's going to give money to build a ballroom to get political favor, I don't honestly think that's going to get them much political favor anyway.
Yeah.
It's going to make Trump be all...
It'll be temporary.
I think it's going to make Trump be all like, oh, thanks for giving me money. Maybe the next time I want to talk shit about you all, think twice.
Yeah,
you know? But other than that, I will say this. It is embarrassing. I even remember during... Obama years, wondering why they were having state dinners outside. I mean, did you ever see that?
Yeah, I never knew that until this ballroom thing came up.
Yeah, no.
So it seems like practical.
That's the thing, dude. Why are we, richest country in the fucking world, why are we having foreign dignitaries over and making them pee in fancy porta potties? That seems kind of nuts, Yeah. Look at the Kremlin.
It's magnificent.
If you're trying to project power, then that is the way you kind of do it.
The White House is kind of dumpy, yeah?
I don't know if it's dumpy, but it ain't as impressive.
It's not
as impressive as some of these other countries.
They didn't even have a place to pee.
Well, they didn't have a place
of big events.
Yeah, which that weird to me too. You would think that the White House would somehow sub that out somewhere. Instead of having it on the fucking lawn, which is what they would do, they'd set up tents. Wouldn't you find the nicest wedding hall in town or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, but then it's not at the White House, like the capital of the country.
Well, I mean, it could be in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever. Then what was the other one? Ukraine and Russia apparently have come to a deal.
Yeah, and I didn't even know that. So that's cool.
Because here's the thing, dude. That was the outrage of the day 6 months ago.
I was just thinking that.
Nobody gives a shit anymore, dude. It's crazy.
I was just thinking that because I was like, I don't see. As far as I know, Ukraine is still raging on, but then all of a sudden, everyone just stopped talking about it. There was no flags, and it was just
because moral, or what's it called? I forgot what it is.
It's the outrage of the day, like you said.
It's the outrage of the day, but it's also it's virtue signaling outrage. Your rage is based on the fact that you want. Look at me! Look how good I am! I care about Ukraine and then
next week that's gone. Now it's Palestine or whatever.
What you're doing
it's just false to me. It's just like,
all you're doing is showing me that you don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like if you actually care, you'd follow up on these things and stay informed on what's happening.
As you know, I've been a huge component for the Palestinian people for years.
And you have actually changed my mind on some things with that, dude. Like I now do believe that the Israeli government, not the state of Israel, not
the people,
not Jews,
not the religion,
none of that. I am talking about they have a little bit of a tyrannical government going on in Israel. It has nothing to do with my past statements on like the whole idea of like Palestine existing, two-state solutions, all that. I still believe all of that. Whatever Netanyahu is doing has got nothing to do with the shit that I was talking about.
That's what I've always been saying. I don't like that administration. I think they're brutal, and I think they have been. And I think now we're just kind of seeing like it's just not hidden anymore. They're just like, this is what we're doing.
And you know what's kind of crazy is they even say this was our 9/11. And if you look at it, dude, they did exactly what we fucking did with 9/11, dude. It was just, It was almost like that was the excuse. Now it's just fucking let the dogs of war out.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a problem, reaction, solution.
Totally. Now, do I think they caused, what was it, October 7th? I don't remember what the...
Yeah, something like that.
I don't think they caused... Same thing like where I don't think we caused 9/11.
They might have let it happen on both scenarios.
I think there was absolutely people in the government that were all like, well, this will get us what we want.
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, but
there's a lot of weird, that's a whole other rabbit hole, but
totally. And maybe we'll go into it, but that one I strongly believe, just like Pearl Harbor, we let it happen. It's not that we caused it. We didn't do it.
We didn't stop it.
We didn't stop it. We knew it was coming. It was obvious it was coming. And we were like, well, we want into World War II, so let them bomb Pearl Harbor. I don't even think they knew where they were going to bomb. I think that, honestly, they might have been surprised that it was Pearl Harbor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, that was...
Where else would it be, though? That's the closest.
Well, we had a lot of colony. You got to remember, Hawaii wasn't even a state.
Yeah.
Okay, so they could have bombed Guam. They could have bombed, or maybe... I think Guam was part of I think it was a United
Philippines, maybe, or did we?
They had already done that.
Okay.
And nobody cared. Remember MacArthur? I will return. Okay. So the Japanese had already taken over, I think, the Philippines at that point. But they could have, the Wake Islands. There was a lot of shit they could have gone after, but they kind of, Japanese,
that was the biggest target.
Japanese warrior style Bushido, they went for the fucking throat. You know what I mean? I think actually they would have even done San Diego if they could have pulled it off. But I don't think they could have. Here and there. What the fuck were we talking about? Israel and stuff like that. So that's another one. We always talk about the economy. I have friends who are, they're kind of, again, we talk to a lot of different people. I have friends who are kind of higher up in business and stuff, who had been telling me how bad things were. So this is a bright spot. How bad things have been for a couple years even.
In the general economy?
In their buying, selling, importing, exporting, all this stuff. Multiple ones of them have told me that everything is to ramp up. as of August. Now, we do live in a trickle-down economy. It's going to take a second for if...
They're saying by August?
No, it already had.
Oh, okay.
In August, they started ramping up.
Okay.
But that's going to take a minute for it to trickle down to, I think, the general economy.
Right.
Because if you've had people who have been living off their credit cards for 6 months and they start to feel better about things start to get a little bit better. Because you got to remember the economy is all psychological. If you feel poor, you're poor. You can also be really poor.
You just stop spending money.
You just stop spending money, tighten the belt, all that stuff. Most people honestly don't even live all that different. It's just that they actually just start watching what they're doing and not spending frivolously, which I don't give a fuck who you are.
Tattoos might fall into that category.
1,000%. Nobody needs a tattoo. There's no tattoo emergencies.
Right.
None of that. I mean, you might need one, like a family member.
I've had people call with tattoo emergencies. I need a tattoo right now. Can you get me in?
But is it a real emergency?
No.
Okay. So you can say whatever you like. It's not an emergency.
Right. It never. Yeah.
You want it now. That's all. And I mean, I get like a family member dies and you need your closure, so you need your name. So I would call that a little bit of an emergency, but you will be okay if you don't get it too.
Yeah.
There are real emergencies. But those people who lived off credit cards for 6 months, they're going to need some time to pay down those credit cards and stuff like that if things turn around and get better, which I do think. I was talking to this guy, and he said he thinks you'll see trickle down in like February.
It's not too far.
It makes sense to me too, because that's, especially here in Arizona, spring training, all that stuff, that would be our busy season.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you will see it trickling down to...
You've been pretty right, because you called the tattoo apocalypse, coming.
I was all over
and
that.
And I think it's kind of here, yeah.
Yeah, but the sad thing is I'm all about it. Sorry, tattooers, and I'll be honest with you, if you're watching this and you're a tattooer, if you're a real fucking tattooer, you should be kind of down for what's happening. It sucks, and we got to suffer too.
Thinning out the herd a bit.
Fuck yeah, dude. Like, I want so many people out of this thing. And it's not gatekeep. Well, no, it is. Fuck that. It is gatekeeping. And I'm not even, it's gatekeeping only because I think of this as a pure thing. And I don't want it to sound elitist and all that stuff. And everyone is welcome. I am not trying to keep you out of tattooing, but I do want the people who did nothing to get into it, who don't actually like it, who don't care, in it for the money, which there was plenty of money for the last 5-6 years we were talking about it. Get the fuck out. Leave it to the people who actually love this shit.
Yeah.
I know dudes right now who need to get a second job. And you want to know why they're getting a second job? So they can keep tattooing. They're not getting a second job so that, everyone got fucking bills to pay.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to fucking fault you for doing what you got to do. But those dudes are not even talking about quitting tattooing.
Yeah, it's not an option.
They're not going to quit tattooing. They got to get another job so they can keep tattooing.
Those are the real motherfuckers, right?
Those are the ones who need to stay, and those are the ones who should be rewarded when all of this is done, because it will. Things will change, and we'll get busier again and all that stuff. When? I don't know. But those are the people, just like the homeless people. I want those people to get help.
Yeah, that need it and want it, and
and then if there's leftover, or like once we've taken care of those people, then we'll deal with you guys.
Yeah.
But you motherfuckers who tattoo Pinterest tattoos this big that are nothing but lines and charge people $500, you got what you fucking deserve. Period. I do not give a fuck. And I have every right to say this. I've been doing this the majority of my life. There you go. Anyway.
Yeah, I agree.